10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. We have ignition.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, How Not to RP-1 Addendum. So last time we did put one in the wind column, but we still need to make some more money. So we've actually got the tech now to return stuff from low Earth orbit, basic heat shields and whatnot, and so we're going to take a contract to do some of that stuff. We're going to use our tried and true OV1 booster for this as we unlock and pay the money for this sample return command module that does not have much avionics, and the sample return capsule that will be responsible for ferrying the data back safely to Earth. But yeah, there's some prep work that needs to happen here, including getting all the comms set up. Apparently we can put some fuel tanks in here. It's got some built-in nitrogen thrusters. We're going to take advantage of that to hopefully give it enough thruster fuel to maintain stability on its path back down through the atmosphere. Yeah, keeping the heat shield end ahead of us is absolutely crucial for the success of this mission. So that will need to be a thing. Hopefully we can add enough extra nitrogen fuel there to give it the endurance it needs to make it all the way down through the atmosphere. We are going to start off with a bio sample. Fruit flies, maybe? Something. I don't know. They can apparently move from there into the other things, so we'll be able to return them safely for the first time ever, probably. What we do need to worry about, however, is deorbit burn. We think we're just going to go with solids, tried and true. We've already got some RCS control thanks to our command pod that can do orientation for us, or we could just stay connected to the AJ-10 stage, and that will help us reorient in time for descent. However, this is quite a bit heavier than our previous payload, so we're just going to strap on some caster SRBs to give it that extra little oomph it needs to put this payload into orbit, and hopefully that won't adversely affect too much of our avionics. Maybe. I think it did. Yeah, our main engine cut off as soon as we separated from the clamp, so we are going to need to up our avionics control limit to account for the mass of those SRBs. That shouldn't take too much because we actually have basic avionics unlocked now, and we could purchase that upgrade, although I'm quite hesitant to spend a significant amount of money on this launch vehicle because it's about to be phased out. But it looks like staying within avionics prototypes, we can up our control to 70 some odd tons without throwing things too out of whack. Because yeah, we've been flying this booster or its derivatives for quite a while now, so that does put us above margin on avionics. Those SRBs give us a nice healthy jump from the launch pad, which means we can more quickly get to an altitude where this engine will have a slightly better ISP, and that all translates very readily into a much more capable vehicle. Never underestimate the benefits of really just yeeting off the launch pad as quick as you can. So MechJeb has the ball. We are still running this simulation and trying to see if that AJ-10 will have enough gumption to put this payload into orbit without too much trouble, and hopefully we can do some good science. We have a massive battery. I should have talked about that earlier, but this thing will basically be capable of spending a day or two, or a couple of days in orbit, and gathering research data and, I don't know, examining how life forms behave and adapt to suddenly being in microgravity. So hopefully we'll be able to yield some very satisfying scientific returns off of this, although of course our primary goal here is to get paid. So any data we can make off of that or do this repeatedly is really just for our benefit. That profit margin is what we need to be concerned with, because, well, the space program has not been going particularly well. We've invested a lot of money and research into a rocket capable of putting something in orbit of the moon and kind of abandoned all of our previous priorities. So having something to generate some revenue in the interim is kind of high on our list of things to do, and it does look like we are more than capable of making it into orbit with this AJ-10 stage. We still had about 600 meters per second left to go. So now we will attempt to make our reentry testing, which we will spin stabilize, fire those SRBs, and then jettison the module. Of course, we would have transferred our science first before we do that and armed our parachute. So now we have a pretty deep periapsis, negative 191 kilometers. So that is certainly good enough to put us on our reentry course. So now all we have to do is see if this thing is naturally stable. If it's not, does it have enough RCS propellant to maintain stability? And C, does it have enough battery life to bring it all the way down and hopefully deploy the parachute? And you'll see here in physics warp, our RCS fuel has been completely depleted. But the good news is, thanks to, I don't know if it's just spin stabilization or just the natural balance of the craft itself, it does get its butt into the wind and levels out just as it starts to hit some of that thicker part of the atmosphere. We do start to see some pretty hefty G loading as we watch our ablator very quickly burn away. But once we get down to about the 30-kilometer mark, some of that will start to really ease up. 40-kilometer mark, my mistake. A lot of that will really start to ease up, and we'll make it safely through the touchy part of the atmosphere. It's just, is our parachute going to deploy, and do we have enough battery to pop that lid off? The answer is yes. Yes, we do. Simulations, everything just works perfectly every single time, and the parachute is more than enough to arrest our descent and bring us these last couple of 100 meters down for a nice easy splashdown. So a successful simulation achieved. We'll go ahead and add this one onto the build list and get one of these in production so that we can hopefully make this contract a reality very, very soon. Although we are going to make sure that our battery, we're going to up the mass on our battery a little bit because we've got some margin on that 2-orbit insertion. So we just want to make sure we can keep this payload in orbit as long as possible to get some of that nice, awesome science returns, which, like I said before, is a secondary goal, but we actually cleared our queue of things that we are researching, which means we're basically stagnating. Time is wasting away while we are not currently researching a thing because we don't have any science to research with. So with our X406B built and ready to go, it is time to hire another victim, pilot, and I think we're going to go with Zelkal Kerman, although we've kind of debated this a lot because we hire people based entirely on their name. So that's just the way things are. So we will get poor Zelkal trained up here in the X-15 cockpit and get their proficiencies ready to go so that we can run this flight. We will, of course, put them in a simulation first because that's a good way to test to see if they have the proficiencies before loading them onto the actual vehicle. Then you have to roll it back and do a bunch of other things. I wasn't sure about how all of this worked, so I probably trained poor Zelkal here 20 or 30 times over before we actually let them get their hands on the aircraft itself, which we did a quick prep work, brought it up, and we're going to run a ground-off simulation, which this aircraft really wasn't built to do. It wasn't meant to take off from the ground. It was meant to be dropped from an aircraft. And we pulled up too hard and broke the wings off, but the engines are still working, and Zelkal has the ability to control the aircraft. The other thing we wanted to test for this simulation was the altitude ceiling. This cockpit should be fully space rated, so we should be able to put poor Zelkal here in way above the Kármán line. We're actually going to hit 154 kilometers altitude on this flight before letting him plummet back down for just a little while before we abort the simulation. We also know that pulling up that hard, that low in the atmosphere, yeah, just not the best course of action. But we'll address the structural failures of this airframe at a later date. Right now, we have contracts that we need to try to complete. And so we will be getting very swiftly onto that. And for this first official actual flight, I'm going to turn you over to Old Me live during the broadcast. Gear up. Ascent guidance go away. Atmospheric autopilot engaged, right? Throttle to full, ignition. Edge it up, baby. Let's go. 50 kilometers, you can do it. Is atmospheric autopilot engaged? Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, let's press the P key again, because apparently it was. I just didn't see the notification, because other things are way in the way. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. Coming up on EFT ditch. Down and away. We are clear. Get up there, baby. You can do it. Nice and easy. Film camera's running, yes? Yep, running. Thank you, Prograde. They appreciate the vote of confidence. Gonna need it. Going to 32. 35. Nice and easy. Better than the Virgin Guy's space plane. Just trying not to be too steep on it. There's 50. Let's level it out just a bit. We have more ignitions we can use. We just want to make sure we're going to get there. All right. And 3, 2, 1. Shutting down. How do I get rid of you? Go away. Wow. We have like a bunch of shit to get rid of here. Ding, 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 ding. None of that really matters. We're going up to 60. I'd rather flying a Virgin plane than a penis rocket. Fair. Hey, we've hit the 50-kilometer mark. These engines don't gimbal, but as soon as we're pointing down the horizon, let's light these up and see what we can do. We're not even Mach 2. Service still better than United. I will not duct tape you to things. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Our balance differential has finally reared its ugly head. Ignition aborted? Sono, thank you for the raid, man. How's it going? Welcome. Gross. Okay, we are tumbling just a little. But Earth photography, invalid situation. Telemetry is waiting, crew report is running. If we could keep this up for another 3 minutes while we tumble very uncomfortably. Eek. Maybe we'll make some science off of this trip. Nothing said safely as doing cartwheels while plummeting back to Earth. The crew report will be in a paper bag. This thing is alarmingly stable. Oh, wait. Our brakes are not on the elevons. They're on the rudder. Along with his lunch. It is his lunch. That's the crew report. Let's flatten this out now that we got some control air around our control surfaces. Let's fire up the brakes and just bring this out. Oh god, no yaw control is a problem. Bring it out of the dive, Zalcal. You received many minutes of training. You can do this. We're doing science. Yes, lots of science. So for science, yeah. Whoosh. We are whooshing for science. Yes. We could probably do an Illman at this altitude, but I don't want to. So we're just gonna brake and turn it back in. Still at above the speed of sound. Look at this. Wife just brought you a new space book. Attempting runway landing? Yes. Always attempting the runway landing. Which is how we kill so many Kerbals. Strange. We have ignitions and we have fuel. So we're going to do what we can here. Contract complete. Which ones? Crude altitude record of 60. Oh, hey, paid out. And of 50, paid out. What do we have left? Crude altitude of 40. Dude, do we not have to land? Explains difficult. Return home safely. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, kinda. We kinda gotta land this thing. Dang it. Encyclopedia of Astronomy and Space. Oh, dude, that sounds pretty awesome. Going for a runway landing with the biggest spook forest animals will have. Most unorthodox terrorist act of the 20th century. Alright, that is rubble. The runways, we're here-ish somewhere, so... Dude, contract fulfilled? Another kilometer per second left in the tanks. Yeah, I'll say next time when we're doing a speed run, we're definitely going to burn through all of it and just to see what we can do at a higher altitude. But we need to shed this altitude and start braking and prepare for landing. Landing is the part that kills Kerbals. Touching ground usually counts as returning. It has in the past. 6 years to get 3K downrange on your hardcore Kerbal thing. Well, it's because you don't have sims. Simulations are the key to everything. Thank you for the reminder. I didn't say in one piece. Right? Yeah, we're still wicked fast. Nearly 300 meters per second. Now I can see the runway. That debris is actually on approach. There we go. Oh yeah, don't adjust your heading under physics warp. God ever. Alright, 600 meters off the deck. Let's get some altitude under our belts. Hopefully we can actually make it all the way back to the runway. Yeah, this thing, God, it just glides like a dream. I love this aircraft so much. Not gonna lie, which is why I just threw the new cockpit on it without any other changes, because I'm like, God, I love this airframe. I love it so much. 136. Another 20 to go before we hit stall speed. Let's get lined up for the runway. Gear out. We're gonna fall a little short, maybe. Come on, baby, you can do it. Come on, just get there. Just get there. You can do it. You can do it. Oh, yeah. Skirt. Brakes. Brakes, 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 brakes. Oh, beautiful. God, I love it. Yes! Mission complete. Woo! In terms of looks and flight characteristics. Oh, quick save dummy. Fine. Quick saving. Sorry, Sono. I didn't see that mid-flight as you're trying to screw me over. Look at that. Hell yes. Dude, yes. Hugging your wife watching this. I'm glad she appreciated the hug. But that was actually like the smoothest one we've had. I mean, we've killed Kerbals doing this instead. Usually when I'm a drink or two more in, but that was perfect. Recover to space plane hangar. That was perfect. And so with another perfect flight in the books, or with his first perfect flight in the books, we will refit the aircraft and get it ready for its next journey. And hopefully our pilot will be ready for that. Oh, I pulled the wrong thing, but we need to remove the film canister. We'll come back to that later once we can prove its airworthiness with the added mass up front. Shouldn't be a problem, but we'll see how it goes. Anyways, our first lunar perspective orbit capable vehicle is nearing ready status and being rolled out, so I will turn you over to Old Me for its first flight. Profit 415K. Hell yes. Alright. Hand on the abort button if this doesn't light properly. We're going to abort and roll it back. All engines lit. Lamps off. We are going. It's basically a Titan II with casters and a Centaur. Man, I wish I had RL-10s. We have an RD-105 that I somehow aborted past. Ignition failure. Oh, it did the cartwheel. The RL-10, I don't want to work today. Those are 100% always fun. Alright, if this doesn't work, we're going to move on to our orbital return mission, which is, God, probably another 90 days from completion. God, please just work. Uh-oh. Oh, no, 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 no. Booster engine failure. Uh-oh. What should we do? The other two are burning fine. We're not that far off prograde vector. We're just gonna run with it. We've got the margin. Eject those boosters. Come on. MechJeb, what are you doing? MechJeb, what are you doing? Manually ejecting boosters. Booster set. Just go with it. It'll be fine. What sets you want to buy? You're coming to see the store on Wednesday. Lego sets? All of them? Okay, yeah, I'm real bad about self-control when it comes to Lego. Which is why I'm glad I haven't been to a store in a very long time. There isn't a local one. Like, I have to drive about 25 minutes to get to my closest local Lego store. Oh, dude, that's the awesomest of jobs. Apparently, MechJeb still thinks that we're okay for orbit, although it's telling us we won't have to stop until stage 1, which is a little bit further than we would like to go. If we can't pull orbital insertion off this core stage, this mission is scrubbed. Bearing set. Right on, Lucy. Have a good evening. Thanks for stopping by. See you again soon. looks like we're on point for hitting orbit. Fingers crossed, y'all. Please just work this time. I don't know why that RD-105 didn't light last time. 2 times ago. But I really just want to see it work. And the fact that we're firing below prograde, it's a good sign. Just please work. Please work. Please work. War is bad. No problem making literally the Death Star. Okay, coming up on orbital insertion. There it is. Do not light that engine, you son of a fuck. That's our last ignition. Ignitions remaining 0. Oops. Yeah. And I'm going to eat it. We're going to say that this one's just the way that it is. So let's deploy our magnetometer. No, I don't want to aim camera. I want to deploy. What the f... Get what we can. Yeah, that one's full up. Waiting. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Neck jab. We were safely in orbit and you just had to top it off by like an extra kilometer or an extra, yeah, like 2 or 3, whichever. You screwed us. You screwed us by lighting that engine. But at least it's in orbit. We'll get what science we can, then we're going to deorbit this thing. We should have a good quantity of electric charge. Yeah, this is 22 days. I'm not sure we have 22 days, but we've got something in here. Let's bring this up so we can monitor our electric charge. When it starts to get low, we'll fire that solid motor and deorbit this experiment. Why did we come out of time warp again? Electric charge is fine, friend. What? Why? Let's get rid of sun guidance. Alright. Pretty sure we've gotten what we're gonna get. Yeah, 1.7 science here. Nothing. Full up. Fair. So, let's arm RCS. Oh yeah, we don't have comms. So let's get into comm range. That shouldn't be more than an orbit or so. We should be fine on electric charge by the time it comes time to... Yep, there it is. Oh, dang it. Brand compatible with Lego called Kobe. TO and Ks. What does TO and K stand for? Tanks. Interesting. Alright, let's get this pivoted around to prograde because that engine fires prograde. And let's drop this into our next stage. Why are we spinning? Hey, how would you look at retrograde, friend? Yeah, there you go. TWR is gonna make this somewhat problematic. God, fuck you, MechJeb. You right in your face. How about you look at retrograde and spin just to make sure. Your batteries are gonna die soon, so you've done all the good for us that you're gonna do. Spin, spin, spin. Oh, I need to point at prograde, don't I? This was a mistake. I need to point at prograde because our next engine is negative TWR. Let's despin. Good thing we got lots of fuel, and I caught that mistake beforehand. Good catch, Cosmo. Everybody gets one. Yeah, most of our liquid oxygen has boiled off. Sorry to disappoint, Duck Willie. Let's switch this to standard, and yeah, we're gonna deorbit this failed mission. God, this is like our fourth failure on this. Will you please turn around? How about I hit... Why don't you look at prograde? Just do that. Do that instead, friend. Easy, easy, easy. There you go. Nice. Spin it up. Why don't I have roll control? As soon as I turn off SAS, I do not have roll control. Even though I have stability assist engaged. Oh, out of range. Dang it. Are we going to have enough electric charge to make the next... Yep, there it is. Okay. Let's get angled in quickly before we get out of control range again. Never have I spent so much time trying to deorbit a failed mission before. Let's just spin it. Here we go. Yeah, it should be fine. All right, we're going. Three, two, one. Ignition. There it is. Camera change. Still burning. Sweet. And this one is coming home. High atmospheric science to do. Maybe. I guess we'll find out. All the science experiments are running, so let's just follow it in and see what happens. Ka-thunk. RCS to disarm. Just let it happen. Just let it happen. Man, bummer. But at least we can clean up our trash. I'm low-key real mad about this. Had we, I don't know, had I been flying manually, or had we not had that booster engine failure, we would be 100% okay. Because we were in orbit before it staged, but MechJeb really kind of bit us out of this one. I just wasn't quick enough on the disable autopilot button as I would have liked to have been. But at least we're putting it down in the ocean. Maybe we'll get some science out of it. Hey, 0.8 science. Return to Space Center. Take that, you fish. Well, I can't say that wasn't exactly predictable because honestly, it really was. Disappointing loss, and it cost us a significant amount of money, but we will be trying again in the very near future. In the meantime, however, we're going to queue up another X405B. Zelcal is raring to go and itching to break some more records after being the first Kerbal in official space, so it's the second flight. Gear up. Here we go. And press P. No, not SAS. Ignition. Throttle up. Boom. There we go. Let's get that nose up, friend. Rev warning. Not an expert. Bear. Nor am I. It's going to be really hard pitching up until we ditch these external tanks. That will be happening soon. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Empty. Ditch. Let's go, go, go. 100 kilometers. That is your target, Zelcal. Climb, 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 baby. You can do it. Let's check the stipulations of our contract now that we're angled up a lot more than I intended. Pass the Kármán line. One crew member, reach 100 kilometers. Cool. One crew member, pass 70. Cool. Here we go. Let's take this airframe further than it has ever gone before. 50 kilometers. Mark. Rejected. 65. Mark. We're going to shut the engines down at about 105. Seven, 90, 95, 100. Shutting down. 105.754. Holy sh... Not an expert. Okay, we still have some aerodynamic control. We got about a quarter of a tank left, so if we need to burn to recover, we can. Hoodalolly, we're going. Let's get paid, y'all. God damn, what a view. Gotta get freezy. Hope they brought a jacket. Docking mode. What? No. Gonna get spicy soon enough. Sure, all our experiments are running. Running. Waiting. Yep. So hopefully we'll get a little science off of this. Cruise altitude of 80 kilometers complete. 90 kilometers complete. 100 kilometers complete. 120. We totally could have knocked that one out of the park. Return home. So if we want to get paid, we gotta touch down. Point where atmosphere gets really hot, but it's almost void, so it doesn't really matter. Yep, we are peaked and heading home. You can see the entire state of Florida from here. Yeah, we're probably going to need to Immelman and burn for broke to get home. That's going to take us a while. At least it defaults to aerodynamically stable. Kilometer per second. Let's roll into this if we can. 50 kilometers. Good. That's enough. Let's start to bring it back. 12 kilometers per second. Oh, I have made a grievous error. Let's bring this out this way and then about face. 25 kilometers. Wow, we're shedding shedding altitude fast. Don't shear the wings off, friend. You can do it. 900 meters per second. Bring those G loads down. Come on, sweetie, you can do it. 15 kilometers. All right. Sub Mach 2. Let's go over the top. Okay. Come on, baby. You can do it. Just bring it over. Bring it over. Please don't stall. Finger on the trigger. We can light these engines if we need to, but I'd rather using it burning back to base. Please. We're too high. F'd this up so many ways. We got all our ignitions though. Yep. Okay, we're going back down. Let's just roll. Nice work. Nope, too much. Yep. Angle straight down. Come on, you can do it. Gotta get you home, friend. Build some speed. Start to get that nose up. Need this win. I don't think we actually need to light the engines, but we have the option. It's pretty damn historic. First Kerbal to space. 2/3 of the hard parts done. We only got 1/3 hard parts left to manage, and that is landing, and man, that is a hard part. Scusa. Now that gives us a pretty good indicator on the runway. We're just going to level it out at about 10 degrees below horizon and try to sail it on in. And if we put this down quickly, we might have a chance to do our orbital recovery contract before I have to close down the stream. So let's just step the time warp up. Current minimum goal for this series, there isn't one. It was kind of just play it. I never had honestly, when I started this series, it was on Extra Life 2020, and we just decided to continue it. So there were no goals other than don't go bankrupt. But yeah, we don't have much as far as goals. I guess I would like to put a Kerbal on the moon before I have to stop and restart. Of course, by a little bit. We can trade some of the speed for altitude. To a kilometer, we'll get it down to about 150, and then we need to dial this in and hope that we can reach the runway. 40 meters per second. Runway might be a stretch. I think we're going to dirt landing this. We are very, very slow. I don't want to put the gear out just yet, but I think we're going to fall a little short. Just a little. 200 meters off the deck. Yeah. Runway is kind of a pipe dream right now, y'all. We're going to try. Doesn't mean we're going to succeed. 58 meters off the deck, 134 approaching stall speed. I do have fuel. Let's light them. 200 meters per second, shutting down. We have plenty of ignitions too. Good call, Chaos. Let's get lined up. Gear out. Just level it. We can just air brake when we get close. 165 meters off the deck. Let's bring this in. Brakes. 150. There we go. Nice. Easy peasy. Brakes, brakes, brakes. One. Yes! Butter. Damn right, prograde. F yes. Zelcal, you are probably the most skilled pilot we have ever had. Recover vessel. Recover the spaceplane hangar. Zelcal just makes that look so easy. Hopefully he will have a long and illustrious career of not piling aircraft into the ground or shearing wings off like he did in this first simulation. We can only hope that he sticks around long enough to, make it through this difficult phase of the space program. Anyway, our orbit scientific return capsule rocket is ready to go, rolled out into the pad. We're just getting mech jebs set up here. This is the first flight of this rocket with the caster solid rocket motors acting as an assist, and of course, one of them has a dud failure a couple of seconds into launch. That is going to cost us a little bit of Delta V. The other three fired flawlessly, so hopefully we have enough margin built in here to still make this mission a success. There's a flame out on our booster engine and separation, fairing eject, and then finally, thankfully, a good ignition on that AJ-10 upper stage engine. That one's always the big question mark, but I think we've already had our failure. We're just kind of laying on the RCS, trying to make up the extra margin from the loss of that SRB. Of course, we did add some battery and avionics to this since the last time we flew it, so yeah, we are honestly just shy of an actual orbit. We're at 199 by 134, but apparently, according to the contract, this counts. We are actually, you know, within the parameters. All we have to do is return home safely. Now, I am a little worried about orbital degradation here because we're not really in orbit. We're actually getting some drag across the spacecraft right now, which is slowly but surely lowering our apogee. And we're going to try to touch that up, but we're running really, really low on RCS propellant. And so that's going to cause a problem here because, well, we need some of that to spin stabilize our payload before we start to head home. And we need more of that nitrogen in the return capsule to kind of guarantee that we can stay on course when we are on our way down. The good thing is at least in our simulations, we proved that the capsule itself is naturally aerodynamically stable. So as long as it enters kind of butt first, we should be okay. We're just kind of waiting to point kind of retrograde-ish. Or no, we're not. We're just going to orient around. We're going to jettison off the capsule and then start our deorbit procedure way earlier than anticipated. And with no fuel and no spin stabilization, we were tumbling wildly through the first part of the atmosphere. Thankfully, aerodynamics takes hold. The natural stability of the capsule gets us facing the right way, and with a much more gentle periapsis than our first test run, it looks like this one is going to come home all in one piece and with a not insignificant amount of data on board. So thankfully we can chalk this one up to another victory. That's going to do it for this episode, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out. I really do appreciate it, and I will see all of you in the next one. So until then, see you later.